last night. It was raining like crazy. It was a cold night. So I put my camera in my bag. I should have brought a plastic bag or something to put over it, but I put my camera in my backpack. Trying to cover it up a little bit. And he came in at like 60 yards talking to Doe. And then this morning I was driving on my way here, and my cell cam app sent me a notification, and he was on camera at 7 o'clock this morning, which was an hour ago. It's 8 o'clock right now, November 4th. I'm downwind of where he was, but he was going the other direction in the camera. But he's heading towards like town, like the main highway. So I'm thinking he's just cruising. Maybe he'll come back around. It might be up in the morning. I'm gonna try to stay in here as long as I can. It's crazy now. Twice I had him at 60 yards last night, and now this morning I got him on camera, like 150 yards away or whatever. Basically while I was about to walk out to my stand. So he doesn't know him. He doesn't know I'm hunting him. He doesn't feel the pressure, obviously. He was with a doe last night, and he's alone this morning on camera. So it's not peak rut, it's definitely pre-rut. I don't know, I tried a rattling sequence. It's so windy, the wind's in my face. And he's up over that, where he was, is up through the thick stuff, up over the hill. There's no way he's gonna hear me. I don't know where he's gonna come from, or even if I'll see him, but it's nice to know that he's around. What's interesting is that that doe he was dogging that doe hard. And she was taking off like a bolt of lightning, and she ran and she jumped through and over the river. And he followed her up and out of my life, out of sight, like a quarter mile away. To my east. That was after being at 60 yards. And for whatever reason, I was hoping she'd bring him right in, but I was a little worried that he wasn't going to show back up. You know, these big bucks, you hear horror stories, they disappear, they go on excursions for miles chasing does and cruising. But he's back. He wants to be here. It makes me wonder if I'm just off the mark a bit. It is literally gun season tomorrow. So I have this morning and tonight. My back's against the wall. So if I shoot this deer, you're going to see a reaction from me that you've never seen. I promise you that. Lord willing, with a lot of prayers, and me due diligence and do my part, maybe we can get this done. He's a giant. He's a giant, guys. I don't even know if I got it on film. This has been recording since my pre-run interview. Oh my God. He crossed the river. Oh my Lord. His tail was down when I shot him. He ran off. Oh Lord, please help me get that deer. The shot was a little high. Oh, stay tuned, boy. Let's go. Jackpot, baby. Jackpot. Okay. I am not positive that we have an introduction or videograph, filmed hunt since I shot a deer I call Jackpot. The story, the saga continues with this deer. I shot that deer, what ended up being in the shoulder blade, on November 4th. In the morning, I gave him, well, at the time I thought it was an okay shot, but I was questionable on the penetration. I waited like 5 or 6 hours, and I hit up the blood trail. Flesh type blood, dark red blood. Very concerning. Well, long story short, I ended up bumping that deer out of his bed like 3/4 of a mile, or maybe half mile, somewhere in there, from where I shot him. He bounded away, just about ran over me. And then that was the gun season after that. He took a 10-day hiatus. I didn't know what to think. He's either maybe I punctured along. Did he die? Did another gun slugger kill him? To my delight, he showed back on camera. Looking pretty good. 10 days or so later. And I've been hunting him. I went full draw on this deer. It's a couple different times he's got my number, but he looks good. I just got him on camera yesterday at 5 o'clock, about 20 yards from this spot right here. The wind is a little sketchy, but depending on where he comes from, I kind of like to play the angles a little bit, just barely, where he feels comfortable, with the wind in his face, where I'm kind of crosswinded. I may be able to get a shot before he comes in, but he's alive. I got video, you'll see the mark on his shoulder where I hit that shoulder blade. November 22nd. See, what is that, 18 days since I shot that deer. He's grazed the cameras, but I was on vacation. I went back to work. So I'm getting off early. Hopefully I don't burn bridges at work, whatever, but I gotta get this deer. He's killable. I almost think sometimes that every time I'm in my stand, he doesn't show up, as of late. And then when I'm out of my stand and I decide not to hunt, to spend some time with family, he shows up on camera. I'm half wondering if he's bedded somewhere close where he can see me get it in the stand and he knows. But he's not nocturnal by any means. He's still chasing does and stuff. I feel like the time is a little bit limited here before they either start hurting up, or I don't think he ever really did get locked down unless he was locked down during that 10 days, but I think he was just traumatized from the hit. I don't know. I feel like I'm on this deer. What a story it has been already. If I could punch my dag on this deer and get this deer in film. The time frame in which I'm have been going out and seeing this deer from the stand is really not on film, because this is the first time that I've brought my camera, because it just never was enough time to set up, and I wasn't really sure how. And I was was always anxious to get out here, and he's on his feet. I care more. I'm more of a hunter than I am a videographer, but today I got the camera, so hopefully we get a culmination and close the chapter on this buck I call Jackpot. It's 3 o'clock, November 22nd. That's cool. I want to add something. You'll see in the footage. Really not a lot of penetration. I was kind of on the fence this year due to past experiences about using large expandable broadheads. I know this is just my opinion. This isn't like nobody should use expandables, but I am now today using a fixed blade broadhead because I think if I would have hit that shoulder blade where I did the first time and I was using a swept back fixed blade at that downward angle, I think I would have smoked lungs or something. But that broadhead stopped dead. It was a 2-inch expandable. So I have since switched. I'm not sure. It was traumatic. I'm not sure I'll ever go back to an expandable head. It's just too much resistance of it. And I'm actually shooting 68 pounds. My arrow's close to 450 grains. So, more than enough cojones to shoot a 2-inch expandable. But boy, I tell you what, these mature bucks, they're big boned. You hit that shoulder blade, boom, pow, it's like a firecracker. Hey, flesh wound. It's a flesh wound, guys. I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't have mattered if I would have used a fixed blade, but boy, it wasn't good. If you hit them in the right spot, there's no problem. But I have to consider the human element. We all do. Margin for error. So, aim low. Avoid that shoulder. Hopefully it gives me a nice shot. I got PTSD. I'm gonna pray for a nice close broadside shot. I can zip an arrow right through him. Stay tuned. Next day, after that last interview you saw in the footage, I did get a good look at him, but seeing what he did yesterday, it's pretty much the similar thing that he's been doing. He kind of hugs that river really tight, and I still think that he knows I'm around. He knows I'm in that tree, as crazy as that sounds. He's threatened, but he's not. It's like he looks at me, he looks away, he looks at me, and I had the wind. He just doesn't come in. He just lets me look at him. It's just crazy. So I got the element of surprise hopefully today. I actually moved my stand right next to the river. on a heavy trail that he's been following. And I'm hoping he looks over in that stand. It looks that, I mean, he doesn't know I'm here. I've never sat in this particular spot. I mean, I'm serious, it's like only 100 yards away. But it's just one move in the chess match. Hopefully that I can fool him. I'm a little tighter next to his bedding area. I think he's only bedded about 300 yards away. Yep. Want to get it done Thanksgiving tomorrow. I'm out of town. Be back Friday. Muzzleloader starts on Saturday. Don't want to wear orange. I just assume get it done like every time I'm out here, but this joker's got me. He's got my number so far, but we're still playing the game. This is ridiculous. We've made all kinds of racket coming in here. Trimming lanes, hanging a double set. I got Taylor behind the camera. No camera arm, we're just freehanding everything. Wind's blowing like 25 miles an hour out of the northwest. It's kind of warm because it was out of the south for the last 2 days. But we have like no shooting lanes. We had to cut down half the woods just to get a couple lanes. But like we're super tight to where this jackpot bug always ends up going. At the wind, again, is kind of sketchy. It's like this. It's probably why he lives here, because he can smell everything, he can see everything. I'm trying to set up right over the top of him so he doesn't know, he won't be able to smell us until he's like, dead. But it kind of feels weird. It's super thick. The farthest shot I can shoot is probably 10 yards. Maybe 15. He's gonna be right on top of us. So it's pretty much jackpot or nothing, unless Taylor can shoot my bow too, so maybe. Depending on what happens, I don't really know. We won't have much time for a buck to come in and say, oh, you shoot it, because it'll be like now or never. So it's probably gonna come down to like jackpot or bust. The crazy things we do for this deer. He's got my number, so I'm trying to play the chess match. Hopefully we can get her done. Stay tuned. December 6th. Got a new buck on camera. I'm still hunting jackpot, but we got a big 9 that showed up, and I sent the picture to the landowner, and I said impressive on the text, and he said Barry with the B, and then autocorrect was supposed to be very, very impressive. So that's the name of this deer. His name is Barry. So we got 2 shooter bucks. We got jackpot. I haven't had him on camera for about, I don't know, less than a week, maybe a week. And we got this Barry buck that's shown up maybe the last 3 out of the last 4 days. Last night he showed up at 4:57 right in front of the camera. I had a Christmas concert for the kids. So duty calls on that one, but he showed up yesterday morning. And then I wanted to hunt, but I had plans with the concert. And sure enough, he showed back up yesterday evening, coming back through. Now, he did not show back up this morning, but that doesn't mean he's not here either, So it's kind of getting down to the wire. We're in December. I'd consider this pretty much late season. There might be a few available does. What's interesting is that we got a lot of fawns by themselves running around on camera. And I got about as many bucks as I do fawns in here. Not a lot of does, which I think, considering the time of year, is probably why they're in here. Sometimes those fawns will come into estrus late in December as a kind of the second rut, people call it. So I did bring the grunt call. I don't know. I don't like the shooting lanes off to my right in this tree. I really don't know what to expect. I almost feel like this is kind of a observation sit, but it's not. It shouldn't be. Because I got a tag burning a hole in my pocket. I'm not a fan of the can't kill him from the couch, because you gotta, the good bow hunters will hunt the right times versus just always burning out their spots, just trying to put their time in to create odds. It actually goes the other direction. You have less odds if you burn out your spots and hunt the wrong wind. So I'm trying to be smart about it too. So I'm not sure how smart I am, because it's December 6th and I still haven't shot my buck yet. So I don't know, I'm rambling. Hopefully we'll get some good footage. It's kind of calm. It's actually out of the southwest and switching to the south at like 2 miles an hour, west at 2 miles an hour. And then it's like north at like sunset at 1 mile an hour. Into my opinion, to me, that's light, that's variable, that's like no wind. So depending on what that does in here, we're kind of on a flat river bottom, so it should be consistent, but it's an evening hunt, so everything as it cools down, I really don't know what to expect with the scent. I'm probably all stunk up from the ride over here. I just got off of work, so it is a hope for the best versus an optimism thing at this point. But we've been going hard at it. I think I burned up about 3 weeks of vacation in the last month, or 6 weeks. So let's go, Lord willing. Thank you, God, for letting me be out here today. Give you the glory. Amen. Here we go. It's December 30th. It's New Year's Eve. This will most likely, 99.9% chance, be my last hunt of 2022. There's like 12 to 14 inches of snow on the ground. We had a massive blizzard, but there's lots of fresh tracks and trails in here. I'll give you the pan out like I normally do, and I'll show you, but I shot a doe early season. I feel like I'm doing like a closing interview on the beginning of my hunt, my last hunt of the year. I hunted hard, burned a lot of vacation. I think I burned 100 hours of vacation chasing one deer. But that's the way it goes. Next year is a whole nother year, and I'll probably do it all again. It's it's brown, it's down this year, with the exception of maybe a small buck. I'll put a slick head on the ground, not in a bonus area, so I'm gonna put whatever I put down is gonna be what it is. I'll put a tag on, get another deer, another meat for the freezer. So yeah, it's probably 9 degrees. It's a southeast wind, southeast. I don't know. I have no idea. I haven't hunted in like 3 weeks, maybe. I have like PTSD from my whole debacle from the last year. I got my son Taylor in the stand down the ridge, maybe 200 yards. So we're kind of on I wouldn't say a doe mission, but just a deer mission. We're going back to the roots. You see a deer, you shoot a deer. That's what it's all about. Rut's far over, but there's a couple deer that did shed their antlers. But big boy, last night I had a big deer. Now, we named Barry. It was at like 5:30. He came through. So a big mature buck could actually, wouldn't that be something? That could be a culmination. Gotta watch out here. It could be quite the story. Putting a big deer in the ground when I'm sitting here just trying to hunt for any old deer. That's the way it goes, right? Alright, let's check this out.